Hey y'all, this is Alex from Eastside Music, and I just wanted to bang out a quick video on how to play 7th chords on the guitar. There's a ton of different shapes out there, a ton of voicings, but you really only need to know 8 different voicings in order to play just about any jazz standard. So let's jump right into it. But first, if you like this video, you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe to the channel. So first, what's a 7th chord? Well, a 7th chord is a 4-note chord, usually including the root, the 3rd, the 5th, and the 7th. So whereas most rock or folk or country music involves triads, 3-note chords, like a C, for example, a 7th chord adds that 4th note, right? And gives you kind of that jazzy flavor, a little more dissonant, a little more colorful, and it's a great chord to play over a jazz standard. So on the piano, you can play these chords usually in closed position or within 1 octave, but because of the way the guitar is laid out, you tend to need to spread these chords out over a couple octaves in an open position, or also known as a drop 2 or drop 3 voicing. Now, we're not going to get into what that means too much today. That's a music theory rabbit hole. But let's just say that there's really basically 4 shapes you need to know starting on the E string, and 4 shapes you need to know starting on the A string. And those 4 shapes correspond to the different chord qualities. So we're talking about a major 7th, a dominant 7th, a minor 7th, and a minor 7 flat 5. 4 distinct chord qualities, one group of them starting on the E string and one group starting on the A string. Now, there are other jazz chords out there, other 7th chords like diminished or augmented or altered, but for the purpose of this video, we're going to stick with those 4 qualities. And if you come across another chord voicing that you don't recognize if you're playing a jazz standard, you can usually substitute it for one of these shapes we're going to talk about right now. So let's start with the E form voicings. These are also known as drop 3 voicings, and I'll start with the major 7. We're going to play all these in the key of C. So we have C major 7, starting from the low E string. I'm on the 8th fret with my first finger. Then I grab the 9th fret, that's the C by the way, then I grab the 9th fret of the D string, that's a B, that gives me my major 7th. Then I grab the 9th fret of the G string, that's an E, that's my 3rd. And then finally the 8th fret of the B string with my middle finger, and that's our 5th. Root, 7, 3rd, 5th, major 7. Now to get to the next chord, which is a dominant chord, I just need to flat the 7th, which is here on the 9th fret. So now I get root, flat 7th, 3rd, 5th. Notice I'm skipping over the A string. So for all the E form voicings, we're going to play the E string, skip over A, and then play D, G, and B strings. Okay? To get to the minor 7th, I'm just going to flat the 3rd, which is on the 9th fret of the G string. And there's my C minor 7. You could also finger it with your middle finger and then your ring finger barring. Okay, that's a great sound. And finally, the minor 7 flat 5, where I've just flatted the 5th. And to do that, I have my index finger on the 7th fret of the B string. So again, those 4 shapes, starting with the major 7, dominant 7, minor 7, minor 7 flat 5. Okay, and these are all E form or drop 3 voicings. Now I can do this all on the A string. I'm going to find my C right here on the 3rd fret. And now it's what we call a drop 2 voicing. Really just means the order of the notes are the root. I have my first finger on the 3rd fret of the A string playing a C. The 5th is my ring finger on the 5th fret of the D string. That's a G. I have my 7th, my major 7th on the 4th fret of the G string. And finally, my 3rd is the 5th fret of the B string with my pinky. Okay, major 7. If I flat the 7th by lifting my middle finger and barring, dominant 7th. If I flat the 3rd by planting my middle finger down on the 4th fret of the B string and lifting my pinky, I get a minor 7. And finally, if I flat the 5th, which is my ring finger on the 5th fret, minor 7 flat 5. So again, those 4 shapes, major 7, dominant 7, minor 7, minor 7 flat 5. That's it. If you can learn those 8 basic shapes, then all you need to know is where the root is. So we've been playing C, but if I was going to play, let's say, for example, an F, I just find my root and I can make an F major 7. If I want to play a B flat major 7, find the root. If I want to make it a B flat minor 7, let's change the quality, F major 7, and so on. And you can really play just about any jazz standard with these 8 shapes. Now, why 8 and not 4? Well, I feel like these chords tend to really want to exist in pairs. And you're usually going to be alternating back and forth from one voicing or shape to the next. A perfect example would be Autumn Leaves, the first 8 bars. I'm going to start way up here on the 12th fret. So that's my A minor 7 on the A string, D7 on the E string, G major 7, A string, C major 7, F sharp minor 7 flat 5, B7, E minor. If I start on the E string, here's my A minor 7. I'm just going to swap the order. Goes to a D7 on the A string, G major starting on E, C major 7 starting on A, F sharp minor 7 flat 5, B7, and then we kind of run out of room here, so I'm just going to jump up an octave to my E. Okay? Once you kind of have a basic handle of these shapes, I suggest you just apply them to some of the standards you might be working on. Try and learn it in one way, with one particular order of voicings, and then you can start to get creative by adding alterations, upper extensions, inversions. There's really, the sky's the limit, whatever you can imagine. But I feel like it's really important to just have a clear starting point, learn these 8 basic shapes, and start applying them to jazz standards today. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, please hit us up at eastsidemusic.com, and we'll see you next time.